Hi everyone, it's nice to be with you again. So today I'm gonna be talking about some data breach and data exfiltration. And to start this project, permit me to present myself. I'm Christopher Dangle and I'm part of your team. And this project was carried out in the presence of my honorable professor Moise Moreno. And to start the project, let's start with the basic information. Like for this project, we have two systems. We have one system which is the victim machine. It is running Ubuntu 20.04 and it has an IP address of 10.4.5.200 and this is a victim machine. Coming for the purpose of testing the web server and everything, we have the Parrot OS, which I'm going to be using as my attacker system, and it's running Parrot Security 6.3. And here is the IP address. If you look keenly, you can see the IP address 10.4.5.25. So let's start. I started with by scanning the web server. That is with an Nmap scan. You can see the Nmap scan over here, and I scanned the Ubuntu server 10.4.5.200, and you can see a lot of amazing information. Like you can see a couple of open ports like the file transfer protocol. You can see the version of the file transfer protocol. You can see the command line. You can see the version of the command line, and you can see the system that is running like Linux 4.x or 5.x. It kind of gives you like the MAC address, and all these are crucial information that could be used to carry out a data breach. So I use this information to be able to understand how I could carry out the data breach, and I proceeded from there. Such information was so helpful. Now coming back to the next part out for more confirmation about what information is found on the web server, I carried out a Nixto scan on the web server, and you can see over here the Nixto scan on the server 10.4.5.200, and it came out with a lot of beautiful information like the server, the version, the Apache 2.4, the version of the Apache running on the server, and it kind of gave a lot of beautiful information that I could use to exploit and get a general image about the data, the data or the network of the organization. Now coming back to Now, to understand everything after carrying out the nmap command and the nictos command on the victim machine, which is Ubuntu, currently running an Ubuntu server or running a server, I decided now to open the Ubuntu or the server, the system with the server on it, and I decided to carry out a Wireshark scan to to check out frames containing nmap. From the picture, you can see you might want to look keenly. You can see some nmaps. You can see frames containing nmap scans, and you can see the IP address going all the way to the 10.4.5. In fact, of the period system 10.4.5.25, and I went further by checking out frames containing the Nicto, and you can see using Wireshark on the Ubuntu system which has the server attached to it. You can see entries. You can see entries containing Nmap. You can see entries containing Nicto, and that kind of gives us an insider information, making us understand there was a network breach. Now, to continue understanding, I went all the way forward to carry out some directory enumeration to expose more data and to see what like to get to understand more the system and everything, the web server. That when I say the system, I'm talking about the system running the web server. So I carried out a DB scan on the web server, and that was a directory transversary. And I saw, like, if you look quite all right over here, you can see there's a file called HTTP 10.4.5.200, the backup file. So I decided to click in the file and really see what's into it. So I could see the file contained a lot of vital information like no, important information about credit card holders which could be exploited. This is very vital information about credit card numbers with their expiration dates and their CVVs. And that's some information that shouldn't be available shouldn't be exposed and shouldn't be available like that. And now, and I decided to get back into still back into the system to Ubuntu, running the web server, and I decided now to check the log files for entries. And when I decided to check the log file, I used the cat and I used the grep, and you can see from the screenshot, you can see nmaps log file. The log file shows nmap entries, and that shows there was a data breach. And you can see the nmap. You can see the nmap. The nmap is pointing to 10.4.5.25. So it kind of shows you where the breach was coming from. And if we go forward, we can see there's a log, still in the log file, the continuation to the log file. You can see there are Nicto entries. It shows you the Nicto entry. You can see the timestamp and everything, showing you the Nicto was coming from 10.4.5.25, which is the period OS, showing the data breach. And the next thing it still shows, still checking the log files. I love checking the log file. It's so amazing and it's so beautiful. Checking the log file, you can see the db command I earlier carried on with the period system. This is the period IP address, so it shows you the deep was carried out by the period machine, which is 10.4.5.25. And that's a lot of vital information that confirming a breach and showing a lot of information that shouldn't be that accessible. And it raises a couple of concerns, like me seeing open ports and seeing the version of the open ports is kind of concerning. So I have a particular recommendation for that, or suggestion based on my concerns, is closing pods we're not using. We should close the pods which we're not using, and generally we should carry a lot of penetration tests or ethical hacking to check the pods that are available on the server or the network and see those that we're using, those that we don't need, and we should always try to close the pods we're not using, and we should always try to see what is a general network posture. Like if someone is scanning a network, what can they see, what can they do? So it's very important, very important, to always check your network and to see what's going on. Secondly, coming back to I saw the coming back to the directory, to the web server. I saw there was a directory. It was possible to move from one directory to the other. I mean, when I use the db command, I was able to browse through files on the web server. That shouldn't be possible. We shouldn't be able to easily just browse files and directories from the web server openly. So my personal advice or my personal recommendation is disabling directory browsing on the web server. It sounds a little bit complicated, but it's so effective. And most oftenly, the third thing, we should always have, scanning the port, scanning the network, like using Wireshark to always check out the network, to check what's going on with our network. We should always have a great penetration team checking out our network, seeing what is a general presence online and what is generally available to the general public and so on. Starting with these recommendations, it's a start to something beautiful.